welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing a coffee talk. Now I know originally I had said I would not be doing any coffee talks throughout the week, but unfortunately last weekend when I was filming videos I actually ended up being really sick throughout filming. In the first video, which is the video y'all saw on Tuesday, which was 5 things I actually learned in high school, I kind of you could kind of tell in that video I was getting sicker and sicker. And then whenever I went to edit the second video I filmed, it was no bueno. There was no way. I could not possibly upload that. So I'm not uploading it. But since this is a coffee talk, number 1, I will not be editing this. And number 2, I have no makeup on. Like, zero. My hair is in the worst condition ever. And I'm drinking some coffee. And it is actually morning. It's like 8:30 in the morning. So I'm trying to be a little bit quiet because I got neighbors. So I asked y'all on Twitter what y'all wanted to see me ramble about. Of course, I waited until like almost 1 a.m. my time to ask, so only 2 people responded by the time I'm filming this video. But they said relationships, so I figured I would kind of jump off of that, of being like relationships and settling down and children and career, and we'll kind of cover every topic. As far as I go, and I'm probably gonna edit this now that I'm thinking about it because I have to edit all the coughs out. Anyways, so I also have some toast. I'm gonna eat a little bit. So, relationships. Let me just say, once again, let me just make it clear. I have not been in an adult relationship. I have not been someone's girlfriend since I was 18 years old, and I'm 23. Let that sink in a little bit. And now let me just say, this is also not by nobody trying. I had plenty of opportunities and I didn't take them because they weren't right. Let's, I don't know, relationships are different as an adult versus as a teenager. I've talked about it kind of briefly, I've kind of touched on it. When you're a teenager, in a weird sense, you're dating someone, but you see them 5 days a week. That's just not, I don't know, I'm not saying oh, don't date in high school, it's not healthy, but to some aspect, seeing the person you're dating 5 days a week, I can't imagine that that's very healthy. I guess if I don't know, I just think there's a difference between the two. When you're in high school, chances are you're gonna break up. The chances of you actually staying with that person are very unlikely. There's usually only a few instances, where people do stay together. Now obviously there are the couples that go to college together and get married, or even go to different colleges and stay together. Most of the time though, from what I've seen, the only way that a couple from high school ends up staying together is if they had children in high school, or a child, or however many they had. Anyways, so when you're in high school, like I said, the only time I ever seen high school relationships ever work out is if they had children. Most people don't stay with the person that they dated in high school. It's just not very realistic, because even at 18 to 20 you change so much. who you are as a person, what you believe, your work ethic, you know. And also on top of everything else, you've lived under your parents' roof now for 18 years basically, you know. And then maybe if you're 20 like I was when I moved out, move out and it's different, like, and you see things differently, and like now you can finally have your own voice. And that's one thing that I think people don't realize too, is that when you live at home, like, you tend to just kind of pick up your parents or your siblings habits or their thoughts or what they perceive as right and wrong. And that's one thing, like, you definitely notice that, like, when you live, like, when you're at home, like, once you move out, you notice it. So, like I said, like, you're just a different person. That, and especially, like, if you go off to college, you know, you go off to college and you want to have the college experience, it's hard if, like, your significant other doesn't go to the same school as you, isn't even in the same area as you. It's hard when you're doing all these college things and they're doing college things, but you're not doing them together. I can imagine. I don't know, guys. I don't know firsthand. I'm just saying, like, I can imagine that's hard. You know, and then there's all, you know, and then here's another thing. Relationships are going to end one of two ways. You're either going to break up and never see that person again, or you're going to marry that person. And that's just the reality of the matter. You either break up or you're going to marry that person. There's no in between. I mean, I guess you could just, like, date them forever, but, like, who actually wants that? Eventually everybody wants to get married, I would think. So anyways, but so when you're an adult, especially, those two ultimatums, they kind of are just sitting there. And the older you get, the more of reality I think it turns into. You know, like at 23, I kind of think about it just a little bit. I'm not saying like I'm like dreaming for my Prince Charming or anything, but I mean, it's a thought. I've thought about it. I've processed it before. I've, you know, been like, man, I'm 23 and I'm not with somebody. Like, but the reality is even if I was with someone right now, it wouldn't be something serious. And that's just the honest truth. Is for me, being in a relationship with someone, it probably would turn into something, I don't know. For me, it's just so hard because I do so much, and so I can't imagine trying to add another human. I say it like they're like, anyways. I can't imagine trying to add a relationship to that. I just can't. So, yeah, I can't. What do y'all think? Do you think you could manage a relationship? If you're not in a relationship, comment down below and let me know what you think. Could you stand to have a relationship? Or like, what do you perceive as a relationship? How do you, I don't know. So let's move on to the next topic, which is school. Which we just talked about just a little bit. Maybe it's just gonna slowly come out of the butt. So school. So if you don't know, I did attempt college when I was fresh out of high school. I attempted college at the community college, and I failed. Quite literally, I failed. And I've never gone back. It has now been 3 years since I was actually in school, in college. And over the past 3 years, not only have I gotten older, but I've also grown as a person, and I've changed as a person. And I think I'm finally at a place where I'm ready to go to college, which is crazy, but I think that now I'm ready to go back to college. And so I know a lot of people have asked me in the past, oh, like, what are you going to do with your life? Are you going to finish college? Are you going to get a degree? Are you just going to try and make it work with that one? And I always kind of was like, oh, I'll make it work with that one. I'll get a job. I'll do something. I'll figure it out. I'll make sure that I'm good. The reality is that you can't, you can get a good job without a degree, but the chances of it are very unlikely. And so far, YouTube isn't taking off too quickly. No shade, but I mean, it isn't, you know, it's not like I'm making $1 million or anything. It's not like I'm even making a life off of YouTube or my blog. Right now I'm still growing, and so it's not as if I'm making this tons of money. So I can't like sustain my life yet off of this, because I would love to. I would love to like get to the point where like I have a nice camera and I have a nice tripod and I'm making cool videos and cool stills, and you guys have no idea, like the thoughts that I have for like videos and stuff, they're amazing. The problem is A, I don't have the equipment, B, I film on my iPhone, and C, I'm not at that place yet. Like I have all these really cool ideas, but I'm not there yet. So maybe one day I'll get there. Who knows? You never know. And with the internet, it's such a shock when anybody's like big. So anyways, so college. I am planning on going back to college in the fall of 2017. Those are my plans. It depends on a few things. It depends on where I'm at as far as my job. It depends on if I have any money saved for classes and books. And it just kind of depends on where I'm at mentally. I have reapplied, which you just reapply and then go and register. I've reapplied, and hopefully I will be able to take classes in the fall of 2017. That is my hope. Okay, so the next topic is probably gonna be very short. I'm not gonna lie, like, because the next one is just kind of odd. I just want to talk about it. So settling down and having children. This is one of those where I'm kind of like, I go back and forth between the idea of having kids. One day I say I don't want kids, and then the next day I say I want kids. There is a part of me, I think every woman, maybe not every woman, but a majority of women have the thought that they want kids. I think it's somewhere like ingrained in us. I don't know, guys. I didn't like Google any of this. I'm just talking, but I know I've had the thought like, oh, like I would like to have a kid. I would like to be a mom one day. But then I think one day, like, and there's not like a, oh, when I'm 25 or oh, when I'm 30, you know, and like then I jokingly say like, oh, I don't want kids, you know, I'm not having kids, don't worry. And well, for the most part, I'm joking. A majority of that, I'm not. It's kind of like, I'm kind of being honest. Yeah, so. It's just, having kids is one of those things that like terrifies me. Also, it terrifies me to like have Like kid, like like labor terrifies me. Don't get me wrong, labor fucking terrifies me. But what I mean is having like to raise a kid and like they depend on me, and like that terrifies me. Because I still feel like I can barely take care of myself sometimes, so like how can I possibly take care of a child? But apparently people do it all the time. I don't know. It's insane. It's insanity. Like sometimes I think about like people who have kids, who have multiple kids, and I think like, how do you do it? How do you even wrap your mind around having one child, let alone having 3? It's so insane. But like, okay, so what comes with children and like that is obviously settling down. Eventually I will get to the point where I settle down, where I say, okay, that's it, I'm done. That's an eventually thing. That's not a tomorrow thing. That's not a next week thing. Eventually I guess I will get to that point. But this kind of goes back to like relationships. I'm not in a relationship, so it's a lot. You know, and you think about it like, do I really want to ever settle down and have kids? The thing is right now what I'm trying to build is a sustainable life for myself online, so that way I can eventually start traveling and doing this anywhere. That's my hope. That's my hope. That's my goal, is to eventually build a sustainable life that I can take anywhere, kind of like. I think about this all the time, and I know people probably think I'm like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but I do eventually like want to have a way that is sustainable, that is building money regardless of where I'm at, and that way I don't have to work like your traditional 9-to-5 job. So that way I can sustain myself and I can travel the world and see beautiful things, and that's a goal, you know, that's a dream right now. Maybe eventually I'll get there. Anyways, so sorry about the coffee talk today. I know it's a little odd, and I promise that there will be no more coffee talks throughout the week. I really kind of want to put coffee talks to be like a Sunday thing. Maybe don't quote me on that. Don't like quote me on that, but that's my thought, is that maybe coffee talks will be a Sunday thing, because I usually do them Saturday mornings. But this week it's just kind of an impromptu. It's kind of one I didn't even think about because, well, to be quite honest, the video I filmed for today was crap and I was not putting it out. So, not that this is much better, like I probably look like a naked mole rat, but yeah. Anyways, if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also hit that red subscribe button down below. And if you didn't know, I upload videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and I will see you all next week. Bye guys!